Whoa, I'm live and I'm trying to get this. That's the one thing, guys, the placement for these suckers, it's a little better here in New York City, but I gotta get the placement down. So, I'm live from beautiful Manhattan, Harlem World, New York City. There we go, I think I got it, bingo. Okay, dudes and dudettes, hopefully it doesn't flop forward too much. Today we're gonna talk about earthquakes and successful blogging. And these are 3 experiences from our world travels, and the thing that made me think about this topic was I was reviewing. Do I like that? It looks pretty solid, right? Kind of used to being closer, that's why. I like to be on top of things. Then you can't, I don't know. I'll get it down. We'll figure it out. Selfie stick, I think, right? Selfie stick, or, you know, the platform, whatever the hell it is. You get, oh, shit. Oop. Oh, see? Look it. That's what happens. I mucked it up. Okay, forget about it. This is it. Good morning, Chris. I was looking at one of my courses, the 11 Fundamentals of Successful Blogging. It's a blogging audio course, and you can learn more about that, or more about it at bloggingfromparadise.com. You click the Courses tab on the menu at the top of the page. You can learn more about it. Really, really fun, helpful, entertaining. Just a great course to get the fundamentals down. But when I was looking at the bonus course that I put in there, I threw in a bonus audio course, 10 common questions answered by an island hopping pro blogger. Island hopping. Here goes the crow guy again. There's a guy who walks down the street, sounds like a crow here in Harlem. You hear that? The end, that's alright. Hold on a second. I'm gonna see what this guy looks like. Oh, there he is. Hold on a second. Check it out. Check it out. You gotta love New York. You gotta love Harlem. I hope you guys saw that dude. What a pioneer, man. I love characters like that. He had on feathers on his head. He had feathers. Sorry guys, I had to do that. That's something that has to be done. You have to see the Birdman of Harlem. He books in the background. Now I know, at least. I'm saying this guy sounds like a raven. I can tell it's a person, and it's a guy. He had feathers. He almost looked like a Native American, and then he had the feathers sticking up, but then he was dressed up like a bird, and he was just screaming like a bird. This is what happens in New York. This is the fun thing with live video, too. You get to see this stuff. But, anywho, darn it, I want to get it like that. Got it. Okay, let's go. Hold on a second. You should see the people filming this guy and just the looks that people are giving. I love it. I love Birdmen and stuff like that. But anyway, before I was looking at the bonus course, and I was just thinking about it, and I'm like, listen, if I have all of these fundamentals on the 11 fundamentals of successful blogging and the 10 common questions answered by an island hopping pro blogger. That's pretty much the, I want to say, gold standard of my brand, but it's something that I'm laying out the fundamentals, I'm laying out the foundation. Now, when we were traveling the world, and as we still are, during our experiences, we actually we're in the middle of 3 earthquakes. But they were tiny tremors, so I can't say that they were big, monstrous earthquakes, but they were still earthquakes, and 2 of them were actually pretty intense. Intense enough to shake around desks and stuff like that. But the issue is, with all this, and I'm thinking with the successful blogging, the analogy here, and you're thinking, okay, you know, let's eventually get into it and not hear the Birdmen outside in Harlem, although I think it's very, very entertaining. The issue is, guys, most bloggers have a really tough time building their blogs on the fundamentals. So, foundation. The fundamentals of successful blogging. The foundation. We're talking the 10 questions that I answer that are common that will help you build your blog on a rock solid foundation, and the 11 fundamentals of successful blogging. We were in a mini earthquake in Fiji. We were in a mini earthquake in Costa Rica, and a mini earthquake in Bali. Now, in Bali, we felt it. We were in rice fields around Ubud, in a town, a village, I should say, they're villages, called Lotunda. And it was so fascinating because I'm sitting there in the villa, and we had these long glass doors. They were heavy glass, they were sliding doors on each side. And I started to see shaking, or I felt shaking, and I started to see the glass go back and forth, reverberate mildly. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're in the middle of an earthquake. And it wasn't any big deal. It was like tiny tremors, but still it freaked me out a little bit, and it did increase in pitch and intensity. And I'm like, shit, okay, let's get outside just in case this really builds. But in the 2 other tremors, although we found out the one in Fiji from a friend of ours, Joyce, who was there, our Aussie buddy, how in town it was actually pretty intense. Desks were shaking and people were feeling it. But in Sabu, Fiji, when we experienced the mild tremors, or when the area experienced the mild tremors, and in Quakes, Costa Rica, when there were mild tremors in the area, we didn't feel it at all. And this was in the middle of the day. Both cases, Quakes, it was like 2 in the afternoon, and Sabu, it was literally, I want to say like 1 in the afternoon in Sabu, Fiji. And I'm like, why the heck aren't we feeling these experiences? Because later we heard from folks like, basically, why isn't this working? Get the other side. It's just agitating me, and it's got to be done. Okay, I think I got it. Got it. So I'm thinking in Fiji, like, why aren't we feeling it in Quakes? Because a couple hours after the earthquake, we talked to folks like, did you feel the earthquake? Like, no, not at all. And we were being super observant. I mean, Kelly's fairly observant. I'm like super observant. I notice things like this. I mean, the meteorologist and me, being in the moment, I'm just focusing on what's going on like all the time. I'm a pretty mindful dude is what I'm saying. And again, in Fiji and Costa Rica, you had these mild tremors, but still in town, you felt it. And then I realized it in both cases, and they let us know, the locals. In Costa Rica, in Quakes, we were sitting on a slab of massive granite, and in Fiji, it was the same deal. We were on a cliff, high up, about 150 meters over the, Pacific to the left, but Sabu Bay in the center. But again, it was hard granite. So we didn't feel the earthquake at all. Now, where is the blogging lesson? Well, it's pretty easy to see when you're thinking about being on top of the granite, not feeling the earthquake or the tremors one bit. It didn't even happen. That's the solid, rock solid foundation. And when you build your blog on the 11 fundamentals of successful blogging, really the basic fundamentals, being mindful, being present, creating, connecting, having fun, enjoying the ride, diving into your fears, you're going to find something really, really neat. Yeah, have to check out the local wildlife. Yeah, exactly, Chris. It's cool. He's gone, I think, until tomorrow. But you're going to find out something really, really neat, and that is when you build your blog on those rock solid fundamentals, that granite-like foundation, you're not going to be shaken out by no profits for a while, by little traffic for a little bit, by changes with Google's algorithm, or Facebook's algorithm, or LinkedIn's algorithm, or who the frick cares, or Twitter changes, or you guys know, all those things that shake out these bloggers who aren't building their blogs on rock solid fundamentals. Whereas when you look at when we were in Bali, we weren't on granite. We were sitting right over the rice fields. You had agriculture going on around us, and we felt those tremors enough to where those sliding doors were shaking, and I was like, shit, this is a really kind of tough experience here. It got me a little nervous, and we walked outside and we felt it. we were shaken out a little bit because we weren't on the rock solid foundation. Now, what's the secret to following the fundamentals? There really isn't one. You just can't be in blogging for just to try to get rich quick. You don't want to be in blogging to just get fame, popularity, to get love. You gotta be in it for the joy of it, because when you're in it for the passion of blogging, when you really enjoy covering your niche, something cool happens. The work becomes the reward. You stick to the basics persistently no matter what happens outside. When people are getting shaken out, like we were in Bali, we weren't on that solid foundation. We got shook out because we felt the tremors. We're like, oh shoot, we noticed them. And when you're not shaken out and you have that strong foundation, again, it's like granite. Think of us being on granite. We didn't realize these tremors are going on around us. We were right in the epicenter, but we were in the middle of these earthquakes. Mild again. I'm saying earthquake, but mild. But enough to where in town, I remember in Sabu Sabu, they said, yeah, desks were shaking, stuff was going back and forth. It was pretty strong. But why didn't we not feel it at all? We're on the rock solid foundation. And if you build your blog on rock solid fundamentals, creating, connecting, following your passion, being generous, helping other folks, monetizing your passion, developing your skills, practicing your skills over the course of years, every day or 6-7 days, 5-6 days a week, you'll find that when the tremors happen, because they always do, Facebook changes things. Your blog goes down for a day. I just found out maintenance-wise, my blog's going to go down for a day in September, I believe the 20th, the 23rd to the 24th maybe? Whatever it is, I'll probably give you a heads up beforehand, or if not, it's just going to be down for a day. I have my blog built on the fundamentals, so I'm not going to worry. It's not going to be a problem. If Google makes an algorithm change, guess what? Not a problem. If Facebook makes an algo change, guess what? Not a problem. Twitter updates. Oh my God, Twitter had this update, and now I can't spend. Not a problem, because I built my blog on the fundamentals. So I'm not going to get shaken out, not going to be nervous, not going to be worried. Whereas so many bloggers who skip the fundamentals, they're just in it trying to game the system. They're looking to hack their way to death. You know, could I do this one thing that gets me all this traffic? Or, you know, they get so attached to their email list and all these other aspects of their blog, and they figure that's the key to their success. And then they find their emails winding up in spam, and they're like, oh my God, what's the... Stick to the fundamentals. You're not going to get shaken out. I think it's a pretty good analogy, and I'm thinking about that because during the when I broke down the 11 fundamentals of successful blogging, on the page that, I guess you call it the landing page, the sales page, whatever you want to call it, the page that sells. Well, the page doesn't really sell the course, but you know what I mean. I was looking at it, and before I broke down each of the 11 fundamentals, whoa, crazy stuff going on back there. Good for her. I realized I made this earthquake analogy. And that's it, Chris. You don't blog for Google, Facebook, you blog for people. And more than that, when you're blogging for people, you're doing it for the reason of just connecting with human beings and having fun and enjoying the process. And you make it more about a people thing, which is, that's all that it is anyway, then you're not going to get shaken out. That's the strongest fundamental, blogging for people, enjoying the process. And that's why, Chris, you're expanding things with your blog and your brand. If Google makes a change, or Facebook, you're going to be on that rock solid. Again, we were like on that granite. It was pure granite. We're talking not like a couple feet, like hardcore. And that's what insulated us from the shaking. And when you're on that hardcore, granite-like rock, building your blog on creating, connecting, following your passion, guess what? When those changes happen, when your blog is down, income up and down, you're not going to be shaken out like so many other bloggers who flip out or who get nervous, who get scared. You're going to be like, okay, it's always going to be there. I'm always going to be successful. I built it on the foundation. Rock solid foundation. And not only that, things are going to keep expanding for you traffic-wise, over time, profits-wise, because you stuck to the fundamentals. Guys, I'm going to roll. The call to action. Stop by bloggingfromparadise.com. And if you want the 11 fundamentals of successful blogging, doing it from the inside out, I mean, the first fundamental is breathing deeply and relaxing. I'm talking about doing things from a mindful, present space, because that's what you got to do energetically to get your energy right, to clear out that fear-based stuff, to let in the fun, the enjoyment, to where you will succeed with your blog. to where you'll move into the right practical tips. So guys and dolls, gotta roll. Thanks so much, Chris and all, for joining. Until next time, you know what to do. Enjoy paradise.